Thought I'd give you a little bit of an update of this garden. It is going gangbusters. I can't even tell where one plant starts and another one stops. There are some little squashes happening, which is all very exciting. I can't even get to the outside tomatoes to see what they're doing. I think I can see a couple of flowers. They won't be fruiting yet because my other ones aren't. My corn are all starting to flower, which is exciting. These onions are doing really well, but the ones at this end are doing absolute dismal in comparison. They are in there, believe it or not. They're hiding in amongst the weeds. I will pull those weeds out, but I don't want to pull them out right now because they'll pull all my onions out as well, and I can see they are starting to bulb. The ones that are in here are starting to bulb up quite nicely, so that's exciting. But they've just been overrun with cleavers and chickweed and I'm not sure if that's puha or dandelion something, and dock so much. Oh, and buttercup. My yams are still growing. New Zealand ochre, that one seems to have escaped but still growing. The birds are still digging up this garden like nobody's business, which is driving me insane. But whatever crop I get from here I'll consider a bonus, I think. This is my other bed that I had the potatoes in, that I've put more potatoes in and just mulched it with straw, and surprisingly that has kept the blackbirds away. There are some little barley babies growing, so I need to go through and pull those out before they get too big. The potatoes haven't come up yet, but that's okay, they will come. Sadly my poppies are starting to go to seed. I love having poppies out in this garden. That there is our bedroom, and so to be able to look out on the poppies flowering in the herb garden is really lovely. And my wee sunflower, this one here, succumbed to the wind unfortunately. This one up here is coming to the end of its flowering life, but I've absolutely loved waking up in the morning and opening the curtains and seeing those sunflowers flowering. It's been quite delightful. Now the vegetable garden has been rather neglected, just life's been really busy. But as you can see here, my celery, we've started harvesting a few of the outside stalks of the celery already. These peas are getting close to being ready, I think. These might be one that you meant to eat flat by the look of it, so we might need to send the kids out to harvest those. My carrots that I've saved specifically for making seeds are all flowering and starting to turn to seeds, which is exciting, even though they've completely and utterly overrun my pathway. Now in this little tunnel, some cauliflowers in here, and the idea was to cover them up so that the butterfly caterpillars couldn't get in there, but some of them are looking quite eaten. So I'm hoping it's not caterpillars, I'm hoping it's just slugs, and that I can throw some more slug bait around and get rid of them. And the pea straw around them also have started growing some peas. Now while we have been having so much rain, my garden has been growing like you wouldn't believe. These carrots were tiny little, and now all of a sudden they're like big proper carrots so we can actually eat, which is exciting. My little tiny broccolis that were in here struggling, they have like quadrupled in size. Got some lettuces in here that need eaten, and my zucchinis are going great guns. I need to get out here and do some harvesting by the look of it. Chloe very kindly cleared these couple of rows of peas for me yesterday, so they're all inside. I feel like they're probably about done. I can't see any more flowers on them, so I'm going to pull those out, I think, and leave some room for these onions, which are starting to bulb up. They're a red onion. These are my outside tomatoes, which have started to flower, but I do need to come out here with some string and tie them up. They're doing really well. I'm so excited about those. I haven't managed to grow any tomatoes outside here yet, so I'm really excited to see how these ones go. There are a variety of different types, but all of them said either early, short season, or they're from places like Siberia that it's really cold. So I'm really excited to see how these ones go. Over the back there you can see climbing up there a white runner bean, which is a local variety that's been grown here for a long time. So instead of the Scarlet Runner, which has red flowers, these ones have cute little white flowers. Other than that, they grow very similar to a Scarlet Runner, but on the inside the beans are white instead of that pretty pink and black mottled. My Scarlet Runners, on the other hand, are being absolutely useless. I've got one that's regrown. Usually with Scarlet Runners here, they act like a perennial and they regrow. So I've got that little one, I've got this tiny wee thing here, some stray carrots, and then like one plant at the end that's actually doing well. So I'm going to save some seeds off that particular one. Obviously it's a little better adapted to here. This carrot bed, I took the netting off it, and the mulch seems to be keeping the birds away, but unfortunately it seems to have stopped the carrots from growing too much at this end, so I might just lift some of that off, throw it over there somewhere, because I would really quite like this whole bed to be carrots. And you can see on this side here, these are all the new baby ones, and then these couple of bushy ones are the ones that the birds didn't dig out when I had that half done in carrots, and a massive big weed. This side, this is what happens when you don't label stuff. I'm pretty sure this is purple sprouting broccoli, so I'm just waiting for it to purple sprout. This is my one kale plant that's probably ready to start harvesting. Now I have one beautiful cabbage, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them that are all going to seed without even cabbaging up, and this one looks like, nope, it's going to seed too. So out of all those cabbages, I've got one that's worth eating. I think I'm pretty much done with those. I think they're called Red Express, and obviously they don't like me. They just keep going to seed, they don't turn into cabbages. Now over here, my broad beans, they're pretty much done. We need to do like a final harvest of those and pull them out. These potatoes, these are our Māori potatoes, and they're just starting to flower, so I will let them run their course, and when they start dying off we'll harvest them. Random bunch of grass, and the tunnel house. Apparently my tomatoes kindly came online during the week that I wasn't out here looking after them, so I came out yesterday with a bowl and took away 2 kilos of ripe tomatoes, so that's pretty exciting. The tomatoes this year are growing a little bit spindly, and I do wonder if that has something to do with the new compost that's in here. I did find that this compost out in the garden beds out there last year, that first season, it just wasn't broken down enough to be useful, I guess, and so the plants out there really struggled, and I ended up mixing up some manure tea, chicken manure tea, watering the whole garden at least once or twice a week with it, and that made a huge difference. So I am wondering if that might have been a poor choice putting them in here, but it does mean that next year I should get a really good crop from them, despite it being labelled Roma. There's not a Roma. I think it's called Artisan Blush, and they're my new favourite tomato. They're like tomato-y flavoured, but also really sweet and super juicy. Once they ripen, they're sort of a stripy mixture of a pink and a orangey colour, and they're really delicious, really delicious. I'm sad that they're not Romas though, because those bushes there were all supposed to be Roma tomatoes, and apparently I well and truly stuffed up the labelling. On the upside, my Romas are actually doing quite well. I've got quite a selection of them ripening. They're massive, massive tomatoes, and they're ripening quite nicely. And I'm very excited to see I have a couple of capsicums on my bell pepper plant. Capsicum is one thing I have never managed to grow. So the plant's looking a little bit sad, but it has 2 peppers on it, so I'm quite excited. It's hot in here. These are my chili plants, and look at the number of flowers on here. They're going absolutely nuts. These have got a whole lot of little chilies, a whole lot more flowers. Very excited about them. These are all a selection of chilies. I need to get out here with some soap spray. I've got obviously some aphids or whitefly, I think it is, on here, and it's developed that, you know, that sooty, sticky, mildewy grossness. So my plants will probably do a lot better if I come out here, I'll probably do that tomorrow, I think. But these have got little jalapenos. Yeah, I'll come out tomorrow and spray those just with some soapy water. We'll get rid of the sooty mildew and it will get rid of the aphids. There's some more little jalapenos. The other thing I really need to get out here and do is cut the tops off all my garlics and cut the bottoms off and take them inside and store them. Does anyone have some magical way of getting some more thyme? That would be really helpful. Other things going on around here, we are building ourselves a roof. We're going to put solar panels up on the top. This is our woodshed on this side, and this side here up in that gap we plan on putting some hay bales, and also we've got containers. I'm not sure if you're like me, but I have kept all the kids' clothes because they're helpful to hand on, they're helpful for the next one to use. So we have bins and bins and bins of kids' clothes, so I'm going to put them up there as well, get them up out the way. The other thing we have been doing is digging this trench. We always used to have a drainage trench along there, but over the years with the road dust, it's just sort of slowly but surely filled in. So thankfully my husband has recently started a new business with some friends, and they are doing section care and lawn care and gardening and stuff, but only with electric implements and so that they've got an electric lawnmower and electric weed eater and all that sort of thing. But the exciting thing is they also have an electric mini digger, which has excitingly come to our house for a week or so. He's used it, he's levelled out the ground for where the music studio's going. He's used the auger on it to dig the holes, and now he's doing some drainage trenches. Now the other thing he's going to be doing is digging a trench to stop the water running down. I think with the way the lie of the land is, the water seems to be coming down this way and in towards the animal houses, and we have had a lot of rain lately, but we also seem to have a lot of more standing water over there than what we used to have, and I'm not sure if it's because the pine trees are down or if it's because the ground's changed shape or what's going on. But either way, we've got a lot more mud here and a lot more water. There's even some puddles that are happening out in the paddock which we've never had before, so it could just be the amount of rain we've got. But either way, we're going to dig a trench down in there as well to protect these chicken houses from the amount of runoff that's been happening. And the other thing he's going to redo is there used to be a drainage trench down around here, and then there was a little culvert underneath our concrete path, and then it drained in back around here, which has just turned into a giant puddle. So he's just going to redig all along there as well. So I'm pretty sure that's about the garden tour, at least the vegetable garden tour. I hope you've enjoyed wandering around with me, and if you have, hit the like button, and I will catch you on the next one.